Welcome back, everyone. This is RDDC, and this is the video that you have been waiting on. It is the rod bearing video. Okay, so if you guys know, a long time ago I was supposed to get these rod bearings done, and the big question is, Mike, I thought you were getting the rod bearings done. What took you so long, or whatever happened with that? I'll tell you what happened. So, I bring cash down there to get to prepay the guy to get everything done, and in the end, the guy's like, I'll call you when I get the bearings in, and he never called me. And to me, that's kind of unacceptable, and I really don't kind of put up with that. So I'm not going to beg a shop to do work on my car, then pay them after begging them. That's really just not the way of doing business. So not a big deal. So I just kind of waited. Here I am in Arizona now and not New York. And I decided to go to my shop that I went to years ago. And it's called Sports Car Recycling. The owners, Dwayne and Pike, are great people. They've never done me wrong. And here's the reason being why I'm not going to recommend this shop. So I got the rod bearings done with them, and I got the motor mounts done with them. So the car runs great, hands down. I can't complain about the work. The only thing I could complain about is that I had a brand new throttle actuator sitting in my trunk, and it had disappeared when I got the car back. So somebody at the shop had stolen my throttle actuator, and the shop stuck up for the employees and not for me. He thought I was trying to pull a fast one by trying to get a free throttle actuator, when he actually remembered the whole conversation of me saying that the TA is in the back of the car in case he had a chance, to dip into the engine and get that replaced. He remembers that conversation, but then, he still insists that, I was trying to scam him. Now, that's another unacceptable thing in my book. He could have met me halfway, you know what I mean? But I clearly know for 100% fact that somebody at that garage had stolen that throttle actuator. And the kicker was that he told me, Mike, we wouldn't even know what that part is. That's a bold-faced lie. How are you going to build racing engines and race M3s and everything else and not know what a throttle actuator is? So, that really just lost all my confidence. I've been going to that shop for 10 years, and I won't be going to them anymore. But they do good work. I can't sit there and complain and say that they don't. So let's talk about the good news. The good news is the rod bearings are done, and I won't have to worry about them for a very long time. So what's the bad news? Bad news is they were already done. So the shop calls me and says, Mike, I got some news for you. The rod bearings are already done. I'm like, oh, so you're done already? He's like, no, they were already done before you brought them in here. I'm like, well, how do you know? He's like, because they're not the stock rod bearings. They are BE rod bearings. And then he tells me that they didn't need to be replaced. So, that got me thinking. It's like, wow, I bought the car at 82,000 miles. I got it done at 169,000 miles. That's 87,000 miles in between, not including how many miles that the car had on it before the previous owner changed them. It might have went 100,000 miles, and these BE bearings look really good. So that's good news for all you BE bearing guys, that are out there. And we'll take a look at the bearings here in just a minute. But I just want to let you know that I probably could have went another 50,000 miles before I even thought about it. But I was so paranoid because I didn't know. I checked out all the service records on the car before I bought it, and nothing indicated that those bearings had been changed. So the guy with acid hands that destroyed my steering wheel and my stick shift, I guess he was smart in the aspect of getting the rod bearings changed proactively, which is great. So I can't complain there. The bearings are done, so that's all I care about. And I just didn't really care about wasting essentially $3,300 when I didn't really need to. That's the big problem I have. But hey, I've wasted a lot more money doing a lot less things. But anyways, without keep talking and boring you guys, let's get on down to the rod bearings and let's see what they look like. Okay, so here are the bearings. I'm just going to kind of go through these, a little bit so you can kind of see them. I think this right here, you see this, This is from, they were in the box with all the, the bolts, the rod bolts or whatever. So they probably got nicked up because that looks like a more like a scratch type deal. But anyways, for the most part, these things look pretty good. There's a little bit of wear up on the top of these things. So if we look at, one, and that's the top. This is the bottom. So you can see, for the most part, they don't look bad at all. A little bit of copper showing. And remember, when I did my oil analysis, it said, oh, there's so much copper. Oh my gosh, your thing's going to fail. And it really kind of scared the crap out of me. But in the end, not really. I'm looking for like a lot of copper on this part right here. And that's not what we're seeing. Here's number 5. This is the driver's side. So you kind of see it's not so bad, man. These BE bearings, this one, it's kind of a little bad on the side there. I'd say that's probably one of the worst ones. But in the end, they weren't bad. I could have ran these, I think, another 50,000 more miles. So I don't even know what my concern was. If I'd known that these had been replaced before, I wouldn't have done the work. But they have been. It is what it is. And nothing I can really do about it. But yeah, I mean, I expected a lot worse. That's just being honest with you. I expected to see a lot of scoring, and I don't really see any of that. I mean, I can see the couple layers of the coating, but this is just natural wear or normal wear. For running that 5W40 oil, Pennzoil, that everybody gave me so much slack about. I mean, I never seen so much slack. I mean, I was just amazed at the amount of people who literally think that they're oil experts, and I'm not an oil expert, but literally they think BMW says this, you do this. I'm sorry, dude, that's not the way it works all the time. And I'm here to prove it because I ran that oil for a full year straight without changing the oil in my car. And when it got low, I just put more of that oil in it. So, and I ran through pretty much a full winter, a summer, and then starting of another winter again before I changed it. And look at the bearings. I mean, these things, I've seen 10 times worse ones on the Facebook groups. And unfortunately, I'm not really seeing that here. So these look pretty good. That's pretty much the good, the bad, the ugly about the bearings. Like I said, I don't really have too much else to tell you here. But this is the video that you guys were waiting for, and maybe, like I said, maybe you want to. I see a little bit of scoring right here on this one. You see this right here? Slight little bit. You see those lines, but and that's the top. That's not even the bottom. And then I see it a little bit right here on this one also. See that? But it's not on the bottom. You can see that? So, but there we go. That's the infamous rod bearing video, guys. So, let me know what you think in the comments. You know what I mean? Like I said, I was really surprised to see that these things were completed also, and I ran these things. Like I said, I'm going to give it at least 100,000 miles. It was 86 before I changed it, so I'm just giving it an extra 14,000 more miles that the previous owner did it, and I'm pretty happy with the outcome. So, but all you BE bearing guys, I think you're pretty safe for the long run. I don't think you're going to have to change those for a very, very, very long time. So it's pretty good for you guys that you get to see what they look like. And, I'm hoping that, my stock bearings last the life of the car right now. I got 173,000 miles on the car right now. and you know, it's time for a little refresh on this thing. So that's what we're going to be working on this year coming up, 2020. But you know, is what it is. So also, guys, you know, don't forget, you know, if you struggle with credit and you're looking for, you know, a BMW like this, don't forget to go to Udemy and go check out my 5 steps to increase your credit score. So you see my name on there, Mike Bowman. You know, I created a course. Actually, it's pretty funny because I had a guy who he didn't take the course. This is before I created it, but I gave him the tips on how to do it. He dramatically increased his score. He just hit me up yesterday thanking me. From a 500 to a 718 inside of 2 months. That quick, guys. That quick using my techniques. So, you know, if you struggle and you know, you want a BMW like this, you know, or any car, or Mercedes or something like that, and like I said, you just can't get that rate that you're looking for, go check it out on Udemy. You know, 5 steps to increasing your credit score, and I think that you'll be surprised at how simple it is to boost it to maybe even get it to 800. Or even excellent range or something like that. All right, guys, you know, as always, you know, let me know what you think about the rod bearings. Let me know what you think about this video. Throw some comments down there. Hit that subscribe button. Give me some likes. You know, just I want to know your opinion on this because I'm a little baffled myself. But maybe, like I said, it's just the BE bearings. Maybe it's my driving. Maybe it's the oil changes, you know, that I've done on the car. Who knows? Who knows? But this is it. Okay, guys, until next time, I will talk to you later. And there you go. Happy New Year.